The Legend of J.C. Brown intro. My name is Sindoni. I'm an independent researcher of legends and mysteries, a longtime YouTube content provider, and a seeker of truth. From an early age, I was an avid reader and curious about subjects like ancient civilizations, Greek mythology, Native American legends, and the strong possibility between the Bible and its connection to giants, example, David and Goliath. I was influenced as a young lad by Hollywood movies such as Gulliver's Travels and Jack and the Beanstalk, to name just a few. This started my quest to discover what has been suppressed for thousands of years surrounding the true identity of our planet, our history, and that I should question, investigate, and verify the data rather than believing blindly without sufficient evidence to support the theory. A theory is like an onion. Everyone has one. It is the data that can provide the answers, and I should investigate and take the road least traveled to explore the possibility of the true history of our planet. I have always been inquisitive, and such was the case in December of 2007 when I read an excerpt from an Emily A. Frank book entitled Mount Shasta, Mystic Mountain. After reading this story, I jotted down all the clues from the legend and decided to go to the New York Public Library and try to solve it. The legend of J.C. Brown spoke of giants and a race of Lemurians who went underground after the destruction of their continent, Lemuria, or Mu as it was called, under the bowels of our planet, an inner world hidden from the outside world as we know it, with giants standing 6.5 to 10 feet tall, an embalmed king and queen, relics, technology, and the history of our planet. I asked myself the question, what if? What if the legend was true? What if there is a secret waiting to be revealed? And would this evidence be accepted by the world to help change it for our future? Following the clues, who was Lord Cowdray? Was there a man named Lord Cowdray of the Lord Cowdray Mining Company of England? The answer was yes. I was able to find books about him and his company. He was a civil engineer and responsible for many projects all over the world. As luck would have it, I was able to find books about him. I was able to chronicle his life and track his border crossings into the United States. I found important clues on ship manifests and the port of entry from Mexico over the Texas border where the treasures were hidden in a vault. It was at this moment I knew that I made an amazing discovery. In March of 2008, I contacted the Stockton Record newspaper and spoke with columnist Mike Fitzgerald and discussed my findings to provide evidence of the identity of the man only known as J.C. Brown, who claimed that he worked for many years for the Lord Cowdray Mining Company in England as a civil engineer. The man who showed up in the Stockton Record newspaper in 1934 claimed that he worked 30 years earlier and stumbled upon a cave that led to an underground village where remnants of the lost continent of Mutiny had been found. This elderly British gentleman claimed that he was working and he was worth $40 million in 1934, money earned by working for the Lord Cowdray Mining Company of England for Sir Lord Cowdray, or Wheatman Pearson, his given name. Lord Cowdray was his official title. I was able to track Lord Cowdray into the United States and identify his top lieutenant, John Benjamin Body, traveling into the United States through the Laredo, Texas border with him. Where, I may add, is where the bank vault was located that was cited in the newspaper of the Stockton Record, June 19th of 1934, upon C. Brown's disappearance in Stockton, California. Meetings were held in May of 1934 for 6 weeks to form an expedition to go up to the Cascade Mountains to recover the artifacts. But 80 people waited in vain for the expedition to begin. J.C. Brown simply vanished. The old British gentleman was seen no more. In May of 2008, I contacted a woman who had heard me on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, and we became friends. Not long after, I traveled to Washington State, and I spent time with the Native Americans and learned of their oral history and stories about giants and Bigfoot. I felt privileged to be given this valuable information about the first people. They refer to the giants as the tall ones, who they say their grandparents had seen fishing in the Nisqually River near Tacoma, Washington, not far from Mount Rainier. I began in Washington State and explored Mount Rainier briefly, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams, and making my way down to Mount Shasta in California. It was in Mount Shasta that I began putting the missing puzzle pieces into their proper place. I purchased the Emily Frank book, Mount Shasta, Mystic Mountain, and uploaded the stories that I had read to YouTube, entitled Legends of Mount Shasta. Not long after, I lectured at the COS College in Weed about the legend of J.C. Brown. I then produced a Legend, Mystery, and More TV show at mctv15.org that played on local television in Mount Shasta and the surrounding areas, all the while exploring the area and using the Emily Frank book to investigate many of its stories in the book as possible. As a result of my research, I can state that I have witnessed first-hand evidence for UFOs in Mount Shasta, explored underground caves, and found ancient Lemurian symbols carved in the granite rock that predate the Native Americans on the continent. There are portals, caves that lead to the underground city that locals call Telos. There is even a military base near Mount Shasta hiding in plain sight. Mount Shasta has many secrets soon to be revealed. It is my goal to share some of the ancient truths and secrets with a global audience, that we all can be a part of a universal awakening. The past is the present, and the present is the future. Will you help me to enlighten the world? A great mystery needs to be revealed. History needs to be less one mystery. You can go to my sites to view my research. You can go to youtube.com, Steven Sindoni, the internet guy, or on BitChute.com, the internet guy, or Rumble.com, the internet guy, or many other places. Just search my name. I look forward to working with you in the not too distant future. Thank you.